the Inspire Masterclass. That's what we're doing. And I want to start off with a story, a little share or a story on how it all began for me or my journey. And it's not so much about me, but hopefully it inspires something within you. And you may have watched some videos mostly on Instagram. I've been posting quite a lot. And I shared a story of about 17, 18 years ago when I was in corporate. And, there I was this day when I was working on a project with my chief financial officer that day. And I'd gone to the bathroom, and I could hear someone coming in and using another cubicle. And this person was really struggling, was so stressed out. I can remember, I recognized the breathing pattern of this person. And, he was actually my chief financial officer. And he was really struggling to even just pee. He was so stressed out. His life was so crazy. And, I thought I had a pretty good life back then. I had a 6-figure salary. I didn't have lots of stuff because I didn't need it. But it was just nice to have that cushion. But this guy had a bigger salary than me, way bigger. And, and I looked at him and he left. After that, I went to the bathroom to wash my hands. I looked at myself in the mirror and I just remember looking at myself in the eyes. There's this very clear moment of the words that came to my mind was, if this is all I can muster up in my life, right? This next leap in my corporate career or another zero on the right side of my salary, which was nice, but, nothing against money. But it wasn't going to do anything for me. And the words that, I had in my mind that just came to me was, shame on me. Shame on me if this is all I can muster up, in the next 5, 10, 20, whatever years it was going to take me to get to the next level or the next few levels, right up to the top of those types of corporations. And fast forwards, like the next months later, like in the next year or so, I left that job. That was my final corporate career. And I, a bit crazy, I moved actually across from Australia across the world to London. And you might have seen some videos of me sharing the story of when I landed in South London. And actually before that, I was traveling around Europe and accidentally, I wasn't planning to teach yoga, accidentally started teaching my friends. And, that slowly formed into this dream of building a yoga studio in London. And back then, 17 years ago, I was the yoga weirdo that I was like flying at the tube stations. I hired these kind of like dingy little rooms. I was running around with my 2 heaters in my hands and a flyer with some flyers with all my schedule on it. And my students would follow me to these like 3 different locations where I was trying to keep some kind of a schedule going. And that was the beginning of when I started, what was the beginnings of my yoga studio. And I'm, fortunate enough, definitely through kind of lots of ups and downs, 5 to 7 or so years later, we were just doing short of £1 million in what was my studio in South London. And I say that not to brag or show off, but to impress upon you that I really was no different to anyone else. And I just had a dream. And I just didn't even know that it could actually be possible. And I simply just, took step after step. And the reason I'm sharing that story is because, that was what I chose to do at that time. I came out of that business, and since then I've been in, this is my 3rd business since then, running this. And anything is really possible. And anything is possible when you connect with something greater within. And one of the things I'm going to share on today is purpose, and connecting with your purpose and living in your purpose. And this is actually one of the things that we do in the work that we do in the Inspire program. And in case you're not aware, this is the Inspire Masterclass, where I'm going to be sharing teachings from the Inspire program and give you a taste of some of the things that we would cover in the program. And not so much kind of like, modules per se, but a taste of the transformation that you can experience. But I wanted to start off with, what's really possible for you. I started off with my story, but I want to actually just transition now onto you. And the very first question, and this is an interactive session, whether you're here live, and if you're here live, then we get to interact live. But, I know some people are looking forward to the recording, and that's cool. So, the very first question I have for you is, this question of why. And the question of why, as in, why before what and how. Most of the time we start, anything with what and how. How do I do it? What are the steps? What are the how-to steps? And actually we can get lost in the what and the how-to and our list of to-dos. Most of the time we have a to-dos list and we don't know why we are doing it. In other words, we're doing a lot of stuff and we have no idea why, right? We're busy being busy and we don't know why we're being busy. We're inundated, we're running ourselves to the ground, burnout, anxiety, depression. This is all kind of like normal these days, and it's kind of crazy that it's actually normal. So I want to start off first with the question of why. And this is an interactive session, so I invite you to, obviously you can journal, pen and paper, but I invite you to put it in the chat so that we can interact with each other and I can support you here in this session, just so you kind of get a bit of a taste of um, a light, very, very light touch of what we actually cover in the program. So take a moment to reflect with yourself. Why are you here in this session? Why did you turn up today to this live session? Or if you're watching the recordings, then, why are you catching up on these, on this masterclass? What is it that you would like to be possible? Not why as in go away, but why are you here as in what would you like to be possible for yourself, right from your participation here? Take a moment to reflect on that and then tell me in the chat, please. Just going to give you 30 seconds more just because we're on time. Well, we have to be on time. Why are you here? Why did you, I'm sure you're busy. You've got lots of things. Everyone's busy, right? Lots of things to do. There must be a reason. There must be a really good reason why you're here. And perhaps you want to get something out of this session. What is it? And also the reason I ask this question now is because it helps your mind focus and pay attention on what is actually useful for you, right? To make. So it tells your mind to pay attention to the things that I'm going to be sharing here in this session. So Keely's saying, very much burnt out, trying to be everything to everyone else, but seeing now that there is another way and I can find peace. And if I put effort in. Amazing. Thank you, Keely. I think you mentioned that you couldn't have your camera on because you're doing parenting. Is that right? Parenting and multitasking. Okay. Joe's saying midlife crisis. Okay. Tell me more. What does that mean? I'm going to go out and buy a Ferrari. Yeah, multitasking. Okay. What else? Why else? Why are you here? What would you like to? So the reason I'm asking why is I'm wanting to lead you into the next question, which is what? Right? So what would you like to be possible? Why are you here? So people saying burnout, too much going on, multitasking, midlife crisis. Okay, I can see some more people typing. So you got Miriam saying to get a little taste of the program, want to find my purpose, incorporating more freedom in combination with that in my life. Amazing. Thank you, Miriam. I think Emma is typing an answer as well. Joe's saying, feeling I've lost any purpose, lots of unexpected transitions in midlife. Yeah. And actually, it's been an absolutely insane few years, right? Since the pandemic, we thought every year we think, oh, this year is going to be okay. And then it gets crazier. The next year it gets crazier and crazier and crazier. The world is kind of changed completely. It's a different world that we're living in. It's different. Suddenly we find ourselves in a completely different world and all sorts of challenges depending on where we're living. I think most parts of the world have, so most of us are kind of going through some kind of, and Joe, you're calling it midlife crisis, but some kind of a crisis per se. And it's just that crisis has become normal. Emma's saying to continue my inner work and yoga journey to show support as you've helped me so much of these. Thank you, Emma. It's very kind. Emma actually did an Instagram live today with me. And in case you haven't seen it, on Instagram, I think I've interviewed, I'm not sure, probably more than 12, 15 people right now. Most of the people actually have done the training. Emma has not done the teacher training, but she's actually done some of the other programs, so done some of this work. And, if you want some examples of people who've done this work, 5, 10 or more years ago, and you can see how their lives have changed, go onto my Instagram feed and you can just check out some of the Instagram lives that I've done. And you'll see me just asking questions that are not scripted. It was just us having conversation and these people are inspiring. They actually came in with all sorts of different challenges. And, now they're living a kind of life that they've truly, wanted, desired for many years, and they've put the work in and they've crafted out that life and made it possible for themselves. Another person who's here as well, who was on an Instagram live as well, Maria, who has actually been around this community's work for a long time, saying, I'm here to continue learning and grow so I can take to my communities and share this work. Beautiful. Thank you, Maria. All right. If anyone else has got an answer, please do put it into the chat. So I'm starting with this question of why, and I want to lead it into the question of what, and I'm going to come to that in a minute. And most of the time, people come to the Inspire program for two reasons, right? The first reason is for transformation. So personal transformation is for change, right? To spark some kind of change in their lives, to transform their lives. Sometimes the transformation is a form of healing. And, in case you don't know, my background is over the last 17 years or so, I built a yoga studio. Yes, I've trained yoga teachers, generations of yoga teachers. And I'm also trained in various modalities of transformation and a modality of healing energy work as well. So, all of that, I bring all those tools into the what is the Inspire program. And, it's quite a potent, powerful program. I would say of our programs that we've got on offer right now, it is our second most powerful program that we have. The most powerful one we have is our year-long Inner Circle program. This one, I'll share the schedule in a minute, but this is our second most, I would say. And we do some deep work here, like the story work, which I'll share with you in a minute what it is. And, people come in and they experience an immense amount of transformation. So some people come in, they're not interested in the yoga work. They sometimes haven't actually practiced yoga at all, or they've done very little, or, they not even plan to like yoga, but we just use yoga as one of the tools, right? So if you're coming in for transformation, then you're welcome. And some people come in for the yoga qualification. So this program is actually what was our yoga teacher training program and still is. So it might sound a little bit strange, like how is both of that possible? But the yoga training was always a transformation program. So some people come for the transformation work, and some people come to train as a yoga teacher. And, there's these like two streams that happen together during this process of what is Inspire. And the results are proven for both these streams. So you'll see it, in the countless number of testimonials.